With the release of 5 new heroes, Overwatch has been really keeping an eye on who's been strong and who's been not, so they've already released a quick hotfix patch note that they've been able to push out live. Bigger changes may be coming in the mid-season, as they're alluding to here. Let's not waste any time. Domina, her barrier array panel health has been reduced from 250 to 225 per segment. There's still 27 segments, so that's a big one. Interestingly enough, what's not noted here is a bug fix that happened yesterday where Domina was able to heal off of player entities with her passive. For the uninformed, the passive reconstruction allows her to heal the blue shield portion of her health for 75% of the damage dealt from her abilities, and it was working on player entities like a mirrored enemy Domina, where every segment of the barrier would count, resulting in her healing a large amount, and every bit of healing would grant her ultimate charge as well, because earning ultimate charge in this game is a result of dealing damage and healing. They have removed that completely from the passive for the healing portion, so now she can no longer randomly heal for like 400 instantly, especially when you think she's low, nor can she gain any ult charge from that, so that's actually a pretty big double nerf. Next, we have Anran, who still struggles with some lethality, so they're improving the impact damage of the Jutue fans from 20 to 22. Doing some quick math, that is a 10% increase to the DPS on the primary fire. For the fan the flames, the impact damage now uses beam damage calculations against armor mitigation. Therefore, it's only reduced by 30% when used on armor, compared to the previous calculation where it was using small projectiles, which would be reduced by 50% when hitting armored targets. So now this is a buff to it by a significant margin. Inferno Rush can now be cancelled with quick melee, which will help her combo potential, and then ignition passive, the burning build-up linger time is increased from 3 to 4 seconds. That's a very significant buff. And you combo that with the minor perk Smolder, which increases the burn duration. That is over a 5-second burn for a pretty hefty amount of HP. Alright, for Emre, another set of buffs here as well. The synthetic burst rifle take aim portion fall off range has been increased from 30 to 45 meters to 35 to 50 meters. That is a buff. That means his damage will not start tapering off until he's 35 meters away from a target. Then it won't scale down all the way until he's at 50 meters or beyond. That's a buff to his range. He will be doing more damage on average to more targets, especially at longer ranges. For his cyber frag, the explosion damage on the grenade, the minimum radius is going to be increased from 1.25 to 2 meters. So that means he's going to hit people easier with it. It's a bigger explosion radius. For Jetpack Cat, small nerf to the frenetic flight. The regeneration rate for the resource has been reduced from 30 to 25. A little bit longer to refill the bar, but I still think this cat is a menace. For Mizuki, the Spirit Glaive, which is his weapon, the cast time is reduced from 0.1 to 0.025 seconds, so it won't feel as clunky or slow for the first one to come out when you hit the button. That being said, the recovery time, which is another way to say attack speed, but the reverse, is going to be increased from 0.7 to 0.75 seconds, so there's more time in between your shots. So in short, it's easier to start up the firing, but it's actually slower if you spam it. If you're weaving in your healing Casa and your chain hook in between, then it's all right. But actually, it's a little bit of a strange nerf to it, if I do say so myself. What do you guys think? For the healing Casa, for the hat throw, the range will be increased from 25 to 30 meters, and the default soft targeting range will be increased from 8 to 10 degrees away from the target. And now for his ult, the cost will be increased by 7%. That is a small nerf. However, it now heals for 100 HP instantly upon casting the ability. That's for the 5 newest hero. Then they threw in a Vendetta nerf here for the Siphoning Strike minor perk. The lifesteal will be reduced from 40% to 30% because she's still one of the best damage heroes out there and still getting banned all the time. Finally, on the bug fixes at the bottom, they fixed a bug that let Ashe use her coach gun while incapacitated, and I think they fixed the double coach with the minor perk as well. They fixed a bug that caused the Zarya's extra oomph perk to grant more energy than intended. I actually have a clip of that. It was basically allowing you to tag an enemy every time with your beam, and every time it retouched them, you would gain energy from it. That's been fixed, and again, they didn't even note the bug fix on the Domina section, which is pretty interesting, but we covered it above, which really does matter for her balance. So yeah. That's it for the quick hotfix patch. Check out my second channel, the CarQ Archives, where I yap a little bit more about who I think is good, who I think is bad about the 5 heroes. And of course, check me out on Twitch. I'm live every day, basically, since the new season has started for long periods at a time to get your loot box drops. So yeah, bye-bye.